Welcome to For the Record, a podcast from the Delaware State Senate Republican Caucus, hosted by Senator Brian Pettyjohn, Chief of Staff Deanna Killen, and Communications Director Matt Revel. This is For the Record.
So we are in the third week of Joint Finance Committee. So of course we're not here in session, and that's why you do not see Senator Brian Pettyjohn, as he's not on JFC. So he's out and about in the community. He was at Georgetown Middle School yesterday, so I know he's working hard, focusing on some constituent issues, as are the other members who aren't on JFC. But to fill in the gap, we have two rising stars within our caucus staff, I do believe. So first to my left, but you're right if you're watching this on YouTube, is Payton Mullen. She's our communications and research specialist. She makes all of the guys look pretty good, I think, here in our caucus.
I try.
That's right. And then Blake Huffman, he is our intern, second year as intern. He's doing a great job as well. But so kind of, we had ended the podcast last week on a couple topics, and so after the podcast ended, we were kind of spitballing some ideas and really got some good feedback from these two here. So we thought it would be a good opportunity, like I said, while we're in the off season, or off session rather, I guess, just to get some young people's perspective on various topics and stuff. And I know, Deanna, you got a pretty good finger on the pulse of what's going around out there, and you.
I sure do.
That's right.
And Matt, you're young too.
Yes.
You're not 42 like I thought.
Yeah, so let's talk about that before we really get into it. Here's our notes, right? A 51. Should I say that?
I'm actually going to be 53 in March.
So you lied.
I made myself younger and you older.
A 51, 42, and 24 split.
I am going to be 52 in March. Sorry. Yeah.
You know how old I was, though, and that's what matters to me.
That's what's important, right? It's because you're so smart and you're old, you're wise beyond your years, Matt. So I just assumed you were 42. I didn't think all that could be in a 37-year-old's head.
I'll accept
all
that.
All right.
That's good. All right. So what we got?
Yeah. So I thought we'd talk about some just kind of stuff that technology being one, and how different technology is for you guys compared to what it was like for me when I was young. We were talking about the cell phones. This is kind of a conversation we had off screen last time, where I was kind of joking about when I had my first cell phone. I think I was 20, and it was a bag phone in my car. So I would be in a restaurant or anywhere, and if my cell phone would ring, my horn would honk. That's how I knew that my cell phone was ringing. That's crazy. So I would run out to the car and answer it. So yeah, that's how old I am. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about like what life is like for you two, because you two, that's all you've known. You've always known cell phones. So what about social media? How old were you when social media came about?
I think I got my Instagram account in middle school.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really know exactly how old I was.
But you've always known.
It was just kind of there, and I always thought it was like the cool, popular kids that had any social media. Like, my parents wouldn't let me have it, so I was, in middle school thinking like, my parents are mean, I can't have this, And then, hindsight is 20/20, and now I'm kind of like, I'm glad they did what they did, but I didn't really have any social media really until high school rolled around, or COVID, really.
Okay, till COVID. Oh, okay, wow. Yeah, because I think social media is just, which for us, we have to be on social media for our job, but it can be so toxic. And I know, like for me, someone older, I've been through a lot of life experience. I can look at the stuff and not take a lot of it personal. Matter of fact, sometimes I just think if someone's attacking me, it's funny. But I feel like younger people, I do feel like it has to bother you guys when someone says something about your appearance or something, just in all the keyboard warriors you see now. Like, how does that affect you? Like, how do you guys handle that kind of pressure?
Honestly, for me, not a lot, but also I got my degree in social media, basically. Like, I'm obsessed with it a little bit.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really bother me that much.
Yeah.
And if someone has to say something behind a screen, it's like...
Because we get a lot of that on our...
Yeah, that's not even real to me.
We have one frequent flyer.
Yeah,
which,
we have a couple.
Names, yeah.
And I think it's hilarious every single time.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, and for me, I've been like the weird person that's always been really mindful about what I've posted, because I also kind of was in that era of, when things started coming out of like, hey, be careful what you post, because it could impact your future employment opportunities and whatnot. And so whenever I posted anything, it was always like what I was doing, not necessarily me doing those things, or it was, or I controlled kind of my like circle of people that could see what I was doing.
Now, do you think that you would be so hesitant to post stuff if it was a liberal point of view? Because I find even at my age that people who are conservative are much less likely to post because of fear of retaliation. Where I can tell you on my Facebook page and social media, the people who view life differently than I have no problem posting their beliefs.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, absolutely. I recently made like a separate account for like my political posting, because I didn't want it to have any. I wanted to have a disconnect between personal and kind of my opinionated stuff. I've since really stopped posting on that other account because I just don't care to look at it anymore.
Right. It's exhausting.
It's extremely exhausting. One, to keep up with everything, but I mean, there was always somebody that would, call you a fascist because I supported Nikki Miller's campaign. And it was like, but then, you can look at where the guy's from on social media and Facebook or whatever. I'm like, this dude lives in New Jersey.
Right.
It's like, it doesn't, some people just have no.
Right. Well,
no
when they don't have an argument, that's what they go to.
Yeah.
Name calling.
Yeah.
It's easier
Extreme
that way.
Extreme name calling at that.
So, one thing we had talked about off screen last week was being tracked and your parents constantly having 24-hour access to you and where you are. And I know, like, for Matt and I don't think I could have this job today if everything I had done was tracked and recorded. And so I'm grateful I didn't live like that.
I feel so bad for, like, the generation after us.
Yeah.
Like, they can't make any kind of mistakes, I feel like, growing up.
Yeah.
Like, everything. Like, Life 360 tells you every little thing your kid is doing. And, like, that worry as a parent. Like, before it was like, oh, like, I know the friend's parents and she's going over there. And maybe she's not staying there all night. But she's with people that care about her, and that's all you thought. And now it's like, she just, like, sped down the street. Like, what's this? Or why is she here?
Yeah.
Like, that's too much.
Definitely feel like we get to kind of miss out on like a big part of like childhood that I'm sure like that you had when you were growing up, to be able to sneak out when you're not really supposed to, obviously, but I never got that. I mean, it didn't help that I also had a 1996 F-150 that you really can't sneak out in, because that thing would is loud.
Yeah. Did you sneak out, Matt?
Nah, it was good. I mean, I always honest about where I was going? No,
but they knew he was out.
Yeah. But that's the thing too, and here I am, right? Made myself back. Well, that's a part of growing up that we often hear Senator Buxton talk about, life lessons and life calluses that you hear, and obviously as parents we don't want to encourage such things, but in the back of our mind, I think we recognize, especially with how we grew up, that it is a part of life that you're going to go out and have fun, explore, and learn life.
Yeah.
Right? But to your point, Life 360, the Find My app on iPhones, I try my best, and my wife and I try our best not to track our senior and high school daughter all the
It's
time.
hard not to.
It is hard, but and we limit it just to, okay, she should be coming home soon. Let's see where she's at, just to make sure she's okay. We're not like stalking, but you do have those helicopter parents out there that I'm sure do know their every little move of their children.
Yeah, I would not be the person I am today had my parents been able to track every move I made, because like you said, I did make a lot of mistakes. I did a lot of dumb stuff. I could write a book on all the dumb stuff I did, but it made me who I am today. And I feel like I've noticed just in this role and bringing in young people to work here, I noticed there's a level of anxiety among young people that I don't recognize. And I'm not necessarily saying with you two, but I've experienced that with the younger generation. I noticed that in my own kids, there's a level of anxiety with just life in general. And I just don't, I'm assuming this has something to do with probably social media, the fact that you always have someone over your shoulder, constantly.
And I think comparison is really big too, because you know what everyone's doing all of the time.
Yeah, that's something that like my fiance and I are running into now. Is we see people they look like they're our age, but they might not necessarily be. You know, it's just hard to tell that sometimes. But you know, they've got this nice house, they have this nice car, they're doing this trip, they're going here, they're doing that. You know, they're eating healthy, they look good, they're put together, and then we're sitting on the couch watching them.
Right.
Trying to be like, man, I gotta go to work tomorrow, and I don't know if I'm gonna pay this, but and with like a bag of potato chips
Well,
because we're
just
just having a snack.
Just remember, people only show you what they want you to see.
Exactly.
So
And
a
that's-
lot of that probably isn't real. Just know that.
yeah.
Yeah, I have
Know
to
that.
remind myself of that a lot because I
Yeah.
like to go to the gym and then like I'll see like fitness influencers and I have to remind myself that's their job. If that was my job, yeah, I'd be at the gym for 3 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's,
If I got
some
paid
people
to.
just don't actually remind themselves of that. So like then this comparison thing becomes super like detrimental to their mental health.
Anxious to do everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard stories of young influencers renting homes and then going there and acting like it's their house and that it's just
Yeah.
so don't just take all that stuff
I
with a
think-
grain
And I
of
think
salt.
a
It's
lot of
what-
people don't put that in their head that it's not real.
And then to your point earlier about like when you were growing up, you had the opportunity to kind of go out and make these stupid decisions with no one's like watching you, tracking you, videotaping you, doing those decisions. I think also now is you have like generations of people that aren't going to have the time in their life to have trial and error.
Right.
Period.
And trust your instincts. I feel like we have that.
Yeah.
You know, we trust our instincts. We kind of know, and I feel like that it inhibits that for you guys a little bit. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
And just going outside and playing, like
I did that.
yeah,
I grew
okay,
up like
so you
that.
guys did you? Okay, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
I mean, there's not much to do around here other than that, especially in the winter.
Yeah, I still play outside.
Oh yeah.
So
So let's kind of shift over now to marriage, because I know that when I was young, it was kind of expected. I mean, I graduated high school in 1992, and at that time, it was like you got married, you had kids, that's what you did. So that was, but I feel like it's definitely not that way anymore. Do you guys agree with that?
yeah.
You're getting ready to get married, right?
Yeah, yes we are. It's definitely it's very against the times to get married as young as we are,
Yes.
which is unfortunate. I mean, we'll both be 22 and 23 years old at that time.
Yeah.
So we're just like, you know what? Why don't we get married? You know,
Yeah.
we kind of have to like put society's norms aside and just be like, you know what? We'll figure it out. You know, we kind of came to the realization like. And we listened to our grandparents talk about their marriage and their past and all this stuff, and we're just like, you know what? Let's do it poor. Let's go to a house and have a couch and table, and we'll figure it out as we go. Like,
And you do,
Right.
you do figure it out. I feel like people today, young people, they feel like they have to have everything together before they get married, and you really don't. You don't. You figure it out.
yeah, I think that's what societies encourage you to do.
It is.
Like,
It
oh,
is.
you don't need to have kids now. It's just not the right time. It's not convenient for you. You know, this constant like, oh, it's okay. You can wait. Just keep going. Go to work. You know, like.
Yeah, and I saw Pew Research did a study that in 1993, which was the year after I graduated, more than 83% of graduating girls said they were likely to marry. Today, that's fallen to 61%, which it's still higher than what I thought. Boys stayed the same, about 74% then and now for them. But and I do want to say one thing when we talk about marriage and things, and I don't mean this in any disrespectful way, but if men want women to take them seriously, then they need to act like men. I mean, today I
Yeah.
feel
No,
like,
absolutely.
and again, this all traces back to the culture we live in, but nobody wants someone who's sitting in front of video games all day, playing video games. They have no motivation to have a career, or we don't want to have to take care of another person. If we don't want to have to mother
Right.
our men or husbands, so to speak. So it's not all, because I know a lot of times this gets blamed on women. Oh, they only care about careers. Something's like, men, you need to take a little responsibility too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you're like treating yourself as the prize, like what? I want to preface, I'm beyond blessed to have my boyfriend not be this way, but the average man, I feel like, why do I have to get you flowers? Why do I have to do this for you? Why do I have to because you're supposed to court me.
Yes,
Like,
because you are special and you are a prize, Payton.
exactly. And all women, like, even if
Yes.
if a woman has a career or like is invested in her career, I feel like the right man would make her, you know,
Yes.
feel comfortable.
And not intimidated by it.
Yeah. I feel like we just don't have that as much.
Yeah. And if that woman also wants to be that trad wife, then the man should be able to be like, you know what? Hey, like, we'll make that work if that's what you want. Like, yeah, I can see that working out for us. And then, you know, that's how it works. That's a true partnership. It's not a convenience type relationship.
When do you think a lot of that kind of shifted?
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely been since within the last 10, 15 years, maybe, you think?
Yeah, I would say so.
I think it's...
Yeah, well, I mean, I even remember, I mean, it was taboo if you, like, moved in together prior to getting married. But it seems to be
that is definitely
a natural stepping stone. Seems like you date for a while.
I can't imagine not doing it that way.
Right, and I
not
feel
seeing
a lot
how
of,
someone lives.
Yeah.
Just a lot of your generation, I think, feels that way because it does say that living together before marriage is definitely more common now than it used to be.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost like the norm. Like, I don't know anyone who's gotten married and not lived with them. I know one person.
Me neither. Yeah.
But I mean, I've had family members who were younger, and when my older relatives found out that they were moving in together, it was like a big deal within our family unit. But I had to kind of intervene. It was like, it's just how things are nowadays.
Yeah. You're telling me I was in a long distance relationship. I'm sitting with my grandma like, yeah, no, we're dating. And she's like, but he lives 13 hours away. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
And then the need, too, that you have to, I don't know if you feel this, but I see it all the time and it drives me crazy, this need to publicly display your love for one another on social media constantly.
And then
stand that.
TikToks will be
so
like, if
against
your
that.
boyfriend doesn't post you every day, he hates you and he does not love you. And I'm like, my boyfriend doesn't have Instagram downloaded.
That is a green flag right there.
Absolutely.
That's a green
Like-
flag. A man who doesn't have social media is a good thing. Yeah, if my husband posted me all the time, I'd be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, and
Also,
then-
the pictures they think are cute,
Yeah.
do not.
Yeah, my husband knows not to post a picture of me without me approving it first, but we don't typically do that. But I find it, this is just me, I find it weird. Like, I see people who, like, wish their kid a happy birthday who's, like, 5 years old. And I'm sorry if any of you do that. And I'm like, your kid's 5. They're not on social media. Just walk into their bedroom and say happy birthday.
My mom makes fun of that all the time.
Yeah.
She'll be like, you're posting your husband. Go tell him happy birthday. You slept next to each other last night.
That's what I know. That's what I tell my husband. Like, I'm right here. So come and tell me you love me or happy anniversary, happy birthday, whatever. You don't need to. I know some people love that, and I'm not discounting that. But
I post a lot
I just don't
of my
understand
boyfriend,
it.
but I don't post like, I love you so much, blah, blah. It's like, here's what we're doing,
Yeah.
you know, type of thing.
Yeah. You have an opinion about that?
No, I agree. I mean, I am guilty of saying happy birthday to 5-year-old daughter or 4-year-old
Sorry.
daughter. No. But yeah, it's almost like if you don't do it, then I think, and this is not the correct way to think, but I think in some people's mind is, well, maybe the people who are on my friends list will think I forgot my daughter's birthday.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think
So it's
that
almost like
that's a generational thing, I think, because
Yeah.
for me, we didn't have that. So to me, you know, we didn't have social media to validate anything or to wish anything. So it was all done in person. So I'm used to that. So for me, it's kind of weird to go the other way, which I did that when social media first came out. Sometimes I look back at when I first got on, I'm like, oh my gosh, Deanna. So yeah, but I've moderated.
Did you have a MySpace? Did you?
No, I didn't. MySpace was popular at that time, but I lived out in the boonies and we didn't have internet. So
You didn't have internet till like 2 years ago.
Say,
for real,
it was
for real.
really recent.
That's
man.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's switch over to like the whole cancel culture thing. And I think you had mentioned that earlier because that's kind of a question I have that we see a lot of. Like, do you think that what somebody says at 18 should follow them for the rest of their life? Because I know for me how much I have changed. And even now, like what I think this is relevant, like if anyone watches Netflix right now, you're watching back to the America's Next Top Model. And you're
Yes.
seeing like things that was on that show. I don't even know how many years ago it was, that now you watch today and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that. But then it was just normal.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we forget that when we look back at things, we don't think about context and what the time was like then. But I think that that's not a good thing at all.
Celebrities could do anything just 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, in 2014, there were like 4 or 5 big pop stars that had like random Indian themed music videos, like
Right.
Selena Gomez, Katy
Yeah.
Perry, and that was okay. If anyone even slightly did that now,
Yeah.
it would be over overnight.
I mean, you
Yeah.
look at TV shows like The Office.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Seinfeld.
Do you think that they could make that now?
No.
Absolutely
No,
not.
that's why nothing's funny anymore. Sorry.
No, nothing.
Comedy is
Modern day
offensive.
television is not funny.
It's not, and that's. I feel bad for you guys. You guys don't know what real comedy is because everyone's worried about offending someone constantly.
But I do feel like there is a longing for that. Though. I mean, you see, the top comic right now is what Shane Gillis.
Oh,
Yeah.
and he's
Oh, yeah.
extremely
is
offensive
Hilarious.
not politically correct
at
all.
all.
I mean, you guys know Theo Von's my favorite
Yeah.
like person
Yeah.
ever. So
Yeah, I like Theo too.
So I do like to think that maybe the tide is shifting a little bit. But to your point, I can't think of a recent sitcom that came out that was any good.
No, I couldn't even
Yeah.
tell you what TV show is popular. I mean, that was
That's true.
that was something
Yeah.
that like you could have done in the 70s and 80s. Everybody knows. Oh, like the Mary Tyler Moore show's on Thursday nights. Like we're watching it as a unit together because it's so much fun. You know, like nowadays that's just not a thing.
Even late night TV is not even funny
No.
anymore.
No,
no,
I mean, Jay
I've
Leno,
never put
David
any of that
Letterman,
on.
Johnny Carson, like that was must-watch TV back in.
Oh, absolutely. I
Our
see
day.
clips every now and then of like Johnny Carson and Frank Sinatra like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
messing with each other on the TV, and I'm like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Everybody gets their feelings hurt
Or even
nowadays.
old Mel Brooks movies like Blazing Saddles. Are you wow? Like
Okay, yeah, that's you've even lost me on that one. I don't think I even watched that.
You haven't seen that one?
I don't think so.
Oh, goodness.
Man, yeah, look that up.
Okay.
The crazy part about cancel culture too is how we've turned celebrities into like needing to be political figures. Like,
Yes. Don't
I'm
you
a-
hate that?
I'm an avid Taylor Swift fan. Okay, if I see her get
Oh.
canceled one more time for not speaking out politically, I don't want her to.
Right,
She's makes
exactly.
so much money to entertain
think
us.
Yes.
That is her job.
I think it
I
opens the
don't
door
care.
to like a dangerous like celebrity idolatry thing,
Mm-hmm.
where we also it's just my own perspective, and you turn your attention away from what you should be worshiping, and now you're worshiping like Taylor Swift and whatever gossip's happening with the This Is Us cast, or It Ends With Us cast, or like instead of what actually matters.
And they
It's
don't
like-
know what day to day life is like. Why
They
would
don't.
you
They're
care
so
what
out of
their
touch.
opinions are?
So out of touch.
Like,
Yeah.
you live in a mansion. I don't care what you think about anything.
Right.
Yeah, Bruce
and they're-
Springsteen's new Minneapolis protest song. I don't care. Thanks, Bruce. You made great music in the 80s.
He came out with a
yeah.
protest song
Yep.
recently about.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yes, he did.
did
I
not
haven't
know
heard it
that.
yet, but I heard
I have
about
not.
the song.
Not even going to listen to it.
And they'll say something too, and then everyone will be like, "Oh my God, they're so sweet and amazing."
Yeah, it's like
They have money they could be putting behind that. They
Yeah.
don't. They stand on stage with their award, and
Billie
they're
Eilish.
like, "This is how I feel," and you guys are like, "Thank you for saying that."
yeah.
The
Yeah.
Billie Eilish quote: "No one's illegal on stolen land."
Yeah. And then someone
And her
went,
gated
yes.
That I
community
could only dream of
mansion.
affording.
Right.
Thank you for
And
not
then-
wanting it.
And then
you know?
someone made the comparison that all these people at the Grammy standing up and doing it, saying this type of thing, but then like this is like a very elite event that you have to have a very expensive ticket to get into, and
Yeah.
if you try to
Show
get in there
ID.
without a ticket, you're not gonna. It's just the hypocrisy of it all,
Yeah.
and I think that's why Hollywood has lost its appeal with younger generations. Because for when I was younger, they were very mysterious. We only saw random pictures of them in magazines. Now we know way too much about them,
Yeah.
and their political opinions are in your face,
Right.
and it's just we don't want that. I think that's why you're seeing like the influencer generation taking off, because these people are a little bit more mysterious to us and relatable. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just the whole thing. So talking about news and political things, where do you guys get your news from? Do you guys do you ever watch any mainstream news at all?
No.
No.
No, I don't. I think there's like overwhelmingly amounts of distrust in like mainstream news. I think overall, like Gen Z
Yeah.
especially, just does not trust the government and news and anything like that.
So
It's
where do you guys get your news from?
a lot of podcasts for
Okay,
me.
podcasts.
A
Okay.
lot of podcasts.
Yeah, and TikTok. I'm sorry.
I think podcasts can be good for the fact that it's more long form. But one thing I found, even with my kids, is they do get their news from TikTok, but they're literally, they will see a meme and that's their news. I can't tell you the amount of times my son has come
When
out.
that big heist happened, and there were
Yeah.
all those. That's how I found out. Like a joke on TikTok,
at
like where
the
someone
Loop.
was in a. Yeah, and there was
Uh.
like someone like a first class seat, and they were like, "I wonder how I afforded this ticket." And I was like, "What are they talking about?"
Yeah, but it is. Nobody wants to read past a headline, and I think that that's very dangerous because the title now is what catches people, and that's what they. I mean, I've had my son come out of his room, and I can tell he was on TikTok, and he's come out with a couple things. I'm like, well, it's not quite that simple. There's more to the story.
I look into it after seeing it.
Right, let's dig a little deeper.
If I'm gonna talk about it or anything.
Yeah.
What?
So that meme that I sent you yesterday, I don't think I sent it to you.
Which one?
So of course it does seem like we're on the cusp of going to war with Iran.
Yes.
And somebody made a meme with the Ayatollah says, "Everybody gangsta till the sky starts missing pixels." But I guarantee people probably saw that and was like, "Oh," and then actually looked in to see what was going on.
Nothing is serious anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
I think it's just we're so disconnected with the government
because
itself, we just don't care.
That, and we get too much news. I see that a lot with older generations that went from watching the news in the morning to now they're so scared of everything because everything that's happening all at once.
Yeah,
and we grew up kind of more used to it. But I feel like shifting from just knowing your local news to knowing every bad thing that's happening in the world in the first 5 minutes you wake up.
That's true. And that is overwhelming. I can see how that could be overwhelming. For me, it was we had to wait for the 7:00 news or the newspaper. Whereas, like you said, it's constantly, it's all day. Every second you're getting some kind of news update. And then just the way that they manipulate things. Like you see the Weather Channel, people kneeling down in a puddle of water to make it look like it's just everything is manipulated. Nothing is what it seems. And I think that can be very dangerous. And we again, we need discernment, more discernment.
And we've even gone past the 24-hour news cycle now, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, I think Fox News was introduced in 96 or 98 or something like that. And so the rise of MSNBC or MS Now, whatever it is now.
I don't know.
CNN. But you had the ability to kind of turn it off. Well, now you have your cell phones.
Yeah.
Everybody's, doom scrolling through TikTok. So everything's just so in your face. And maybe that could explain the rise of anxiety.
Yeah, I can see that. I can understand that.
Oh, yeah.
Because
you're never alone with your thoughts. And that's kind of one of the things I've said to my kids before. It's shut everything off and just be alone with your thoughts for a minute. That no one does that anymore.
There's no sense of wonder. I mean, like you said, you had to wait for certain times and things to get the news. So I mean, people would kind of think about what kind of things are happening, but now everybody's so informed now. Everybody knows everything. You can't even have a good conversation. Be like, oh, I saw in the news that this is happening. Well, I saw on my news that this is, and it's the same thing.
Algorithm.
But everybody has a different view of what that thing is, and then you just fight each other. That's just how it is.
And it halts creativity because no one's ever bored. And you know how many things I created as a kid when I was bored? And I feel like that's where a lot of really genius things, they happen during that time. Someone's bored. Let me do something. There is none of that anymore. If you're bored now, you pick up your phone and you scroll.
Every time I serve a table and I see multiple kids with multiple iPads, I'm like,
do you tell them to put them down?
I'm like, we still make coloring books. You guys want to play tic-tac-toe or something?
Yeah.
Oh, I love doing that.
Or bring your toys. I'd rather you get Play-Doh on my table than listen to Bluey 3 different ways.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I get it. So I'm going to end. I have some fun wild card questions. It'll be for all of us. So I guess this might be a little bit more for you, but you two could answer too. So if social media existed in the 90s.
I'm not young.
Since
that's
you're
right.
42.
So, yeah, that's right.
In the 90s. Okay, let's say 2000s maybe. That way it fits everybody in. Yeah. What trend would have destroyed you?
What do you mean? What trend?
What kind of trend? Anything. I guess any of these TikTok trends or social media trends.
Destroyed me had I posted it? And
yes.
Would oh, God.
It would be in forever. Probably some of the dance ones, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, first of all, you're never going to see a video. Well, that's not true. I was going to say you're never going to see a video of me dancing. But
we have.
Reach out to me if you want to see a video of Matt dancing. He's actually twerking.
You might as well
so I was talking. Well, okay, we'll give the content. No, I was talking about the one that we posted on our Caucus TikTok account at DE. I can't even spit it out. I screwed that up. At DE Senate GOP.
Yeah.
At Return Day
that I recorded.
Well, I'm talking about the one that you did
me too.
at the gym.
All right. So I used to back in the day. I used to work out a lot, but I also used to work part time at a gym in Millsboro. Well, the gym had a Zumba class, and the Zumba, and you haven't seen this yet?
We'll do that after.
You will pop it up on the screen for everyone. I'm not.
Yeah. We should.
And so anyway, so the Zumba instructor had all of the males, all the men who worked at the gym, record a video to help promote her Zumba class. And so, of course, I was one of the ones. And
I have
Deanna
proof of it. I
says,
found it.
The internet lives forever, and it's still there.
So if anyone wants to see that, let me know. I'll send it to you. Okay, so this one is kind of to be for everyone. I'm curious to hear your answers. We'll start with you, Payton. What conspiracy theory do you think is secretly true?
A lot of them. I'm not going to lie.
Can you pick one?
I'm going to pick that the moon landing is fake because I know you think it's real.
All right, that's funny because we've had conversations because I have questions too.
No, but I believe in a lot of conspiracy theories, honestly. Like, I was big on those, like, in high school. I'd watch the YouTube videos. I was convinced, and I still am.
Yeah.
You know, why wouldn't they lie to us?
For me, the big question is I just don't understand if we had the technology to do it then, why don't we have the technology to do it now?
We do.
So why don't we go back?
Yeah, why don't we go back?
Why would we need to?
What do you mean? We did nothing.
Matt trusts the government way too much, doesn't he?
Blake, what's your conspiracy theory? And then we'll go into the moon stuff if you want.
Mine's a pretty hot topic one, actually. It's my biggest conspiracy right now, and I think it's also just my distrust in the government itself, is definitely Israel, and it's kind of interworkings into our government, and why are we sending so much money to Israel? Like, certain thing. Because of my distrust, I'm like, that's a really good question, and I'm really concerned about this.
So there's Mossad agents embedded within the government, or just in the
or
sense
you think
that
they
I think it's also
own
to do with
our
APAC.
government.
Okay.
And it's like, in its ability to like pay off a lot of our legislators that are in Washington. I mean, there's a lot of them that take money from APAC, which doesn't have to register as a foreign lobby, because it changed its name in like the early 2000s or the 90s, whenever they did that. It's just an interesting. I'm like, that's.
You've been listening to Tucker Carlson.
I've been listening to him, and a bunch of other people bring it up. Surprisingly,
yeah.
I've heard I think I've heard it enough from different sources that I'm like, okay, there's something worth like exploring a little bit. So that's mine. That's why I was like, it's a little hot topic, but that's something that I'm like, you know what, there could be something there.
All right.
How about you, Deanna?
Well, I was going to say the moon landing too. That's the real one I have. I won't say because it'll probably be too controversial. So.
Why not?
Mine was pretty risky, so.
I don't know, but see, mine isn't. I don't really know if it's so much a conspiracy anymore, but aliens.
Okay.
That's still a conspiracy.
Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah,
Me too.
All right.
I first of all, I think it's actually. So, they estimate what each star has, however many sets of planets, and there's billions of stars, so there's going to be trillions of planets. I just find it hard to believe, especially with the amount of planets that we've discovered within the Goldilocks zone of each of a lot of these stars, that there isn't life somewhere out there.
Yeah, I agree.
So what do you think about the Rh negative blood type people? Do you think
So you?
I am an Rh negative? There's a lot of rumors around that, We're only like 14% of the population, but we're supposed to have like special powers and have magnetic energy, and that's what they say is that's one of the theories is that alien life visited Earth, because there's no they can't figure out how the mutation came about.
I don't. Well, I
So
don't
hey,
know.
you could be sitting next to someone who's part alien.
That's true.
There we
That's
go.
true. No, but
being
I mean,
funny,
like
clearly.
we still haven't been able to. Actually, another one, and it might actually kind of intertwine with the alien stuff. But did you see the discovery? What they discovered over in Egypt underneath the pyramids? There's these massive like cylinders.
And like the open spaces too. That
Yeah,
are
there's like massive open spaces beneath many of the pyramids, and like these coils essentially that they've discovered. Have no idea what it is. Of course, the theory is it's some sort of energy generation, but
But the
how
government
in the-
won't let them
Right,
dig.
yeah, the Egyptian government will not allow.
I haven't seen that. I'm going to have to look into that.
Yeah,
That
it's
sounds
pretty
very
fascinating.
There's some interesting
So I
things.
forget what. So they use like a combination of, I think, LiDAR and some other tech that can penetrate deep into the ground to essentially send back some sort of X-ray of what's down there. But yeah, it's fascinating, and they still have no idea how the pyramids were built. I don't know, and so going back to the alien stuff.
You think aliens built the pyramids?
Perhaps.
Or they helped, or they were.
We are really going off now.
Or at
It's
least,
just impossible.
Or yeah, I don't know. Or at least there was some sort of technology out there that the Egyptians had access to, and even the Aztecs and the Mayans, right?
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
mean, they have pyramids with massive stones that traveled hundreds of miles, and it's like, how in the world would
Makes
this
no
stuff
sense.
make
I
it
mean,
here?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that there's some passages in the Bible that talk about giant beings and things like that.
Oh yeah,
that
read the
live.
book of Ezekiel. That's some wild stuff in there.
Okay.
So
Well, he
nobody's
talks
a
about
flat
But
earther?
I think that I agree with you. I think that I wouldn't necessarily say that there are not aliens. I don't know. I'm open to the possibility that there could be.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I don't know.
But aliens are okay.
But to the moon landing thing, though.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, I think so. Of course, we had
Even
the
listen
space race in the '60s, right? So there was an incentive to get there. What's been the incentive between now and then? Or then and
Exactly.
now?
We had a reason to fake it.
So, but now we have with
just
AI.
listen- Listen to the phone calls that they took. I don't know. I'm not saying it's not real. I'm skeptical. That's all. I just have questions.
I'm saying it's not real.
I just have questions.
Okay. I don't know. You're pretty adamant
Yeah.
last year when we were talking
Yeah.
about it. About
I think I err more on the side that it didn't happen. I know I surprised people when I said that because I'm typically not a conspiracy theorist, but I think the older I get, the less I trust my government. Regardless
I think
of
that's
who
why I'm
runs
such
it.
a big conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
I'm like, I believe anyone's capable of anything.
100%.
It doesn't hurt to mention the JFK assassination too.
I was going to bring
I
it
mean,
up.
that
Yep.
one's
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
60 some odd years of, you know what? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So mine, which will probably get quite a bit of feedback on, but of course mine is, and I want to state by
Oh,
saying,
here we go.
Disclaimer.
I want to disclaim for the fact I got 2 shots, COVID vaccine shots, because
Oh,
I
yeah.
trusted the science. I trusted the science. I
I
thought
did
I'm going to
too.
get it. I got 2 Moderna shots. I'm like, okay, I'm good. 6 months later, as you know, I had all these issues. I ended up with an extremely form of aggressive cancer of the thyroid, which is very rare. Thyroid cancer is not an aggressive cancer. Of course, I've chalked it all up to, okay, anyway. Looking now, there's all these reports coming out, and there's one out of South Korea, if no one has seen it, that they should look at, that is connecting the shot that I had to aggressive types of thyroid and prostate cancer. And so I will probably be dead and gone by the time that they figure out that it was connected. But I'm convinced just because of how quick it happened and the type I had. Even I went to a cancer hospital in Philly, and even they said, this is so weird.
I could see
We've
that.
never seen this before.
Well, I was going to say I think it was one of your doctors was like, yeah, well,
Well, I asked my doctor if I said, could this be connected? He said, I can't, this is his wording, I can't answer that. All I will say is don't get any boosters. So I'm like, okay. So
One good thing that comes out of distrust of things like that is I feel like our generation especially has switched a lot of things to like holistic measures.
yes. Yeah. And I'm a big holistic person. I always have been. It was actually very out of character for me to get the shot. But I did it because I didn't want to fool with testing. I didn't want to fool with, and I'm very pro-vaccine. Very pro. I have all my vaccines. But yeah, this just I could do a whole podcast on just my experience, and I would maybe that's for another day. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very interesting one too. I think that's also when like our generation really started distrusting the government.
Yeah.
Ever since COVID.
right. So, and I hate that these vaccine manufacturers can't be held liable for anything. And I don't think that's right. I think there's a bill right now that's going to make it so that they can no longer.
So they can't be
exempt.
held liable even if it's found out that they like hid some of the data or manipulated it?
I'm really not sure. I just know that they have like a immunity and like just a blanket immunity on things.
Yeah.
But we'll see if this ever
There's
anything
a
ever
fun
comes of it.
fact too that there's an enzyme in cheese that Pfizer makes that helps
Wait,
with
Pfizer makes the enzyme that's
Yep.
in cheese?
It's like an active curing agent in the process of making cheeses.
Didn't know that.
Except for hard Italian cheeses, they don't have it in it.
Yeah. I use block
Really?
cheese and I shred it.
Interesting.
Yep. All right. Well, I think we've went off the deep end enough now.
Conspiracy theories.
So is there anything else that you guys want to bring up or you want to add to the conversation before we check out for the day?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
How about for you?
I think
You'll
I
be
have.
getting married
Yeah.
New Year's,
New
right?
Year's Eve.
All right. Well, that's awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, I'm excited. Trying to do it as low budget as we can. That's another thing that society has done to young people
Yes.
is the cost of a wedding. The average, there's a website that kind of accounts for your like local area and your minimums and stuff like that for a wedding cost to kind of help you budget your wedding out. And for Sussex County, the lowest average was $12,000.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah.
$12,000. I'm like, no
Just-
wonder people don't want to get married
just a
yet because
low-
they actually can't
just
even
a
afford
low-
to get
Yeah.
married.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
my-
far, we're doing a lot better than that.
Yeah.
So
well, that's good. Yeah, my second marriage, that's what we did. We literally just went down to a friend's lake house and we got married on the dock, just the two
That's
of
the
us
way to
and a
do
couple
it.
friends, and that was it. That's that. We didn't spend a dime.
But
so.
people, I've always been like that though. I'm not the person who feels like they have to talk to their cousin ever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, if I'm close to you, I'm close to you. If I'm not, I'm not.
Right.
Like, and that's just how life goes.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll have to do another one of these with some other topics that maybe talk about some financial topics and buying
we
homes
definitely
and
there's a
things
lot
like
to talk
that,
about there. I
since
think.
we have a couple
Yeah.
week break. So, all right, we can revisit those topics. And if there's any topics anyone wants us to cover, let us know.
Yeah.
That's right. Our comments are open on Facebook. Even comment on our Spotify, by the way. Which
Yeah, they added that.
I saw
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw a comment on our YouTube last time. So
yeah, from our good friend Robert Overmiller, I believe.
no, I saw one from someone else.
Oh, good.
I
Well,
believe
I know
so.
our good friend. They said Robert Overmiller. He comments. Which, by the way, Robert, hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
We miss seeing you here. It's not the same. I'd always come up when I get here and he's
Yeah.
sitting in his chair.
I know
yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss 'em.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I think we've done it. Like I said, follow us on social media at DE Senate GOP, and you can find us pretty much on every form of social
Yeah,
media.
everything.
Yeah. I want
Check
you
us
to
out.
listen. Just you'll find it.
Literally everything.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
For the Record is recorded and produced by the Delaware State Senate Republican Caucus. You can find us with the DE Senate GOP handle on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Threads. Discover more about our caucus on our website, senategop.delaware.gov.